guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nicole. So today's video is going to be another sewing one slash thrift flip, and I'm going to be going in a little more detail today about sewing. So it's going to be like a little bit more of a tutorial for the baby doll tops because people were asking about that on my previous couple videos. Do you all notice anything new about me? I tried to like give myself bangs again. They're kind of like side bangs. Cut them last night and I felt like my will to live returned. Like I think my life spark is stored in my bangs. Just something to think about. I also did my nails. Hopefully you guys can see. Hair, nails, everything is like all done. I don't know why. I just felt like it all last night too. I feel good. Like I feel put together. This tutorial is going to be for these style of baby doll tops. I'm gonna be making a new one with you guys. I wish I could say, oh, like if you want a size medium or a size extra small or a size large, like this is the measurements that like you need to use, or like I had a pattern, but I don't have that. Like I literally just measure it to me. So I'm hoping this can be more like a guide for you guys so you can like figure out the measurements that you need for yourself. I measure like the widest point of my chest is 30 inches and then I like base it around that. And the good thing is we're using this like stretchy material. Like you can use any kind. This is like this kind, and this bandeau top is one I thrifted. Like I didn't make it myself, but it's still like stretchy material. And this too, obviously a lot easier to work with because it'll just stretch to fit over your body shape instead of having to like meticulously measure out some fabric and like sew it to like where it properly like fits your body proportion. With the stretchy fabric to just like pin it over yourself, like mark it and figure out like your measurements. Here's the materials. Like I said, a stretchy fabric for the bandeau top part, and then for the bottoms, like you could use, there's like so many different options. This one, just lace. This one was made out of like 2 different dresses that I didn't wear anymore. This one's made out of old pajamas. Go to the fabric store and buy something completely new. Like that is totally up to you and what you want. But let's get into the tutorial.
For this top, I'm using this stretchy knitted fabric, and I folded it over to have double layer because it was a bit thin. Measured and marked where I was going to cut, so the widest measurement, 14 inches plus the seam allowance, and the underbust 12 inches plus seam allowance. The side measurements can vary. This one was 5 inches plus the seam allowance, and then I cut diagonally from the smallest point to the widest point on each side. This is our front piece, and then we need one more of these for the back, so I just did the same thing, same measurements, and pinned both pieces together on the sides. At this point, I was playing around with the measurements a little bit, but the measurements I showed you guys are the ones I ended up using. The biggest change I had to make was making the underbust smaller, because originally I only had 1 inch of difference between the top line and the underbust. I wanted to add this strip of fabric here to make this look like a bow. This is completely optional. You can leave it as is, or you can see with other tops I've added ribbon ruching down the middle or buttons, whatever you prefer and how much detail you want to put. Then we're going to sew the sides together. I threaded my needle by matching the 2 ends of the thread together, wrapping the thread around the needle several times. The more you wrap, the bigger the knot will be, and then hold the thread in place as you pull the needle through, and you'll have a knot at the end. To sew the pieces together, I just use a straight stitch or running stitch, following along the pins, and obviously I did this on both sides. And to finish the stitching, make a loop of thread and then pull your needle and thread through. Cut that and then tie the 2 ends of thread together. I always do this several times just to make sure it's secure. Turn the top right side out and then started working on this bow part. I was using this strip of fabric and then I pinned and stitched it so it looked like this, and then I turned it right side out. Decided it would look cute with some white lace, so I sewed some on either side. For the bottom, I'm using this top that I wore a lot in the summer but wasn't wearing anymore. I cut out the bust area all the way around the top. Then aligned the seams of both pieces together and pinned them in place on the sides. Since the white fabric was wider, I needed to create some ruffling to make the pieces even. So with the sides pinned in place, I started with the front and did a running stitch, except the stitches are bigger and I'm pulling and ruffling the fabric as I sew. And as I'm pinning in place, I also folded up the knitted fabric to hem it. I left a gap in the middle for my bow piece and then used a safety pin to temporarily hold it in place while I sew. So together with a straight stitch, and I was sewing underneath the lace of this bow, but did stitch over the middle part. Here is the front, and then I did the exact same ruffling in the back before I sewed it, except obviously this time without the bow. After sewing the two pieces together, I decided to use the same ruffle and straps that was on the white top, so I cut all of that away, pinned along the top line, and then I unclipped this bow part so I could go all around the top. I had to cut and reposition the straps in the back, and then I did try this on to make sure I liked the positioning of everything before I sewed. I always do extra stitching around my straps to make sure that they're extra secure. Also stitched together the ends of this white ruffly hemline part. And sewed up my bow. I was just stitching together the two ends of the strip of fabric. Lastly, added this white ribbon to the sleeves. This is another optional thing, just if you wanted some more detail. And I've used a lot of different things for straps, like lace, ribbon, and I've also made like cap sleeves.
And here is the finished top. I say this about everything. I'm like, I really like how this turned out, but I really like how this turned out. Before I try it on, I'm gonna kind of show you guys like how the inside looks, because it's obviously like not perfect. Like it's kind of ugly on the inside because I don't generally do like lining and stuff. I'll try it on now. Is the top on. I especially love this part. I love how this looks like a bow, and when I don't have to like wear a bra underneath my tops, I really like that. So the way this fits is really nice because it still like feels supportive. And this is the back. Yeah, another baby doll top for the collection. Definitely end up styling it, definitely like when I wear it out. I think adding this here was also a good idea, even though I didn't want to do it. I'm like, ugh. Another thing to add, but it's all in the details, right? The details like really make it. And someone actually commented on one of my videos. They were like, oh, I love how optional all of like the details you add are. Like just use this base, but like really make it into your own style. Oh yeah, and some people were like sending me their stuff on Instagram, like pictures of what they made. And I was like, that made me so happy. So if you guys ever want to like DM me, I think you have to have the person accept the DM to send pictures. So I will check like my message request or like post on your stories and tag me and like stuff that you make. That would make me so happy because I really want to see.
Next up, I wanted to work on this top, and the first thing to do was altering the fit. I folded in both sides underneath the armpit just so there was less fabric there and so it didn't stick out so much, and then pinned it in place to sew. I've been really into the Neapolitan aesthetic color scheme. These are like all of my saved pins right now, and my Pinterest if anyone is curious. So I wanted to add some pink to this top and maybe some white as well, and I started by adding this pink ribbon. Originally I had it pinned and aligned with these folds, but I thought it looked better if I did it diagonally over the fold, so that's why it's like that, in case you're wondering why isn't it aligned with the folds. Hand stitching this obviously took forever. I did it in a night though, like a night and a little bit of a morning, and I think it was a really cute extra detail of the brown stitching on the ribbon. Of course, I had to add some bows, so I sewed on some pink bows with buttons at the end of this ribbon, and then these little brown and white ones all around the lace on the hemline. And then lastly, I just sewed some buttons onto the straps.
Here is the finished top. Ta-da! You can see the buttons and the ribbon and all the bows I added. Also, I ironed this, and like this is the most like wrinkles I could get out. Like this is the best I could do. I spent a good amount of time trying to iron this. It might not look like a lot now. Like you might be thinking, oh, like it's all right, but wait until I style it. I'm gonna start with this top and then add this over. You can see also this is where I altered it and stitched It fits a lot better now under my arms. I made some really cute accessories to go with this outfit, and I didn't end up like really filming making them because I didn't know what I wanted to do at first. I was like playing around and messing around, and I kind of figured out what I wanted to do. We are going to add the bow. Is this not so cute? Like I said, the Neapolitan color scheme, I just love it so much. I want to eat it. It connects with a safety pin, so yeah, all of my bows are, or not all, most are detachable. Cute. Yay. And then I made two different things, and I also have these ones I figured I could use in my hair, or I could clip onto a bag or shoes when I wear this out. This clip is supposed to be like a cinnamon roll. So it's just like the fur fabric rolled up with some white lace, and like this is how it looks on the side. I added ribbon, and this is the bottom, so it just like clips in. Isn't this so silly? I love it. And it almost looks like a little hat. These are the pink shorts, and then I've also put on like white leg warmers and these fluffy brown boots. Yeah. And then these ones can just be clipped wherever. Also made this headband that matches, but I ordered clips to sew here or glue here, so I can like clip it onto my head. So I can't really wear this one right now. I was showing my friend, like sending her pictures, and I was like, I feel like Willy Wonka right now. And chocolate. I'm sorry. And there's chocolate. Yeah, that's how I feel, but in the best way. These kinds of bows are a great accessory because it just like brings everything together, you know? Like it looks kind of plain and boring without it. But then you add some cute little bow accessories or hair clips, and it just brings the outfit to life. I'll probably have to wear this out with a jacket because it's a bit cold these days. At least it's sunny again. I'm happy about that. I also wanted to announce something kind of exciting. I already said on my Instagram, but I made this Instagram account to start selling my clothes. So it's going to be clothes that I've made myself, clothes that I've thrift flipped, and also clothes that I just don't wear anymore from my closet. I'm going to post like previews of what I'm going to be selling soon on the account. I didn't want to like start selling anything until I announced it here on my YouTube channel, because I know a lot of people were like requesting that I sell. My plan is once I get better at sewing and once I get a sewing machine, because I'm gonna get one soon so I can like do this a lot quicker, I thought I would start selling custom clothes, at least custom like stuff that I'm confident in, like the baby doll top and maybe skirts. I think those were the two things I wanted to start with, because someone actually DM'd me and was like, hey, I don't know if you're open to this, but I was wondering if I could order like a custom clothing piece from you. And I was just thinking about it. I'm like, wow, that would be really cool, and I would love like doing that, making that for people. Like I think that would be so fun. However, I just need to practice first. Like I'm gonna practice with my friends. I already asked them, I was like, hey, like do you want to help me with something? So I can practice also sewing like for other people's measurements, because I've only ever done it for myself. Once I get good at that, then that's what I want to start doing. I think that would be really fun. Let me know if you guys would be interested in it. You know, it's kind of like a low risk thing to do, because if no one orders, then no one orders and I don't make them. But if you would be interested in that, let me know. Yeah, that's my little announcement. I'm really excited. Ever since I was little, my dream was to like work in fashion. First I wanted to be like a singer and actress, and I realized not really talented in either of those departments. And I was like, oh my god, I want to be a model because I just love clothes. And I was like, kind of too short for that. Like I want to be a fashion designer, and then that was like my big goal for a while. And I think I've mentioned this before, but I went to like a fashion design summer camp, and I would always like make my own clothes or like put outfits together. So it's always something I've wanted to do, and I really love that people are like interested in the clothes that I make and would want to like buy from me. I think that's like, I love that so much. It makes me so happy. I'm gonna keep you guys updated. We'll probably be kind of vlogging that, like taking you guys along for the journey. This is the end of this video. If you enjoyed, please give this video a big thumbs up, comment, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye bye.